Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Me's My Best here on YouTube's premium channel about all things women's football. And match number 15 is just wrapped up here with two final group matches from Group H here, with Germany taking on South Korea and Colombia taking on Morocco here. And we'll get started off with Germany versus South Korea, with the Germans lining up in the 4-2-3-1 formation and the Koreans lining up in the 3-5-2 formation. Now going into this doubleheader, Germany needed a win in order to qualify for the knockout stages of the Women's World Cup here, and Morocco themselves needed a win also to qualify, but also for Germany to not win their match against Korea here. But going back to the match here, it was pretty much what you'd expect from Germany versus Korea, in the fact that Germany pretty much dominated possession and they had the majority of the goal scoring opportunities. But funny enough, in the 5th minute, Korea channeled their inner Panama as Cho was left completely unmarked, and she opened the scoring for South Korea as they went 1-0 and scored the first goal of the tournament here. And it pretty much was going to be looking like Germany were going to be on the back foot the entirety of the game here, as they had some very good opportunities going forward in the first half, but really yielded nothing that much. And that was until the 41st minute, where a beautiful cross was laid out to Alexandra Pop, who headed the ball in yet again to put the Germans back on evil footing with the South Koreans going into the second half of the match here. And it was pretty much all or nothing from this point forward for Die Mannschaft here, as they needed another goal to seal all 3 points. And at some point you set up, it did seem like Alexandra Pop would be the hero that the Germans needed, but unfortunately her opportunity was called off for offside to keep it level. And unfortunately for the Germans, that's exactly how it would end, as Germany would finish in 3rd place as a result of the following results in the next match, which we'll get to now, which is Colombia versus Morocco here, as Morocco lined up in a 4-4-2 formation and Colombia lined up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. And unlike the Germany and South Korea match, this match was very much full of heavy transitions here. But Morocco, they were the more dominant side in the first half, as they had the lion's share of the opportunities to go for a goal. And Colombia, it was towards the end of the first half that they started actually threatening Morocco, but unfortunately for them, towards the end of the first half, the 2nd minute of extra time actually, Morocco was granted a penalty as a result of a very poor foul in the box here, when one of the players from Morocco was brought down here, Jaredi. She was brought down by Arias to give Morocco the penalty, which the captain Chebak stepped up to take, but unfortunately was denied by the goalkeeper. But luckily for her, Lamario was there to pick up the rebound and score to give Morocco the lead heading into the first half of the match here. And going into the second half, it was just like with Germany that Colombia were on the back foot here, even though they were pretty much guaranteed to move on to the knockout stages. At this point in time, they did not know the results of the other match, so pretty much they had to play their hearts out and get themselves at least a draw to guarantee their spot in the knockouts of the Women's World Cup here. And despite the heroic attempts by the likes of Uzme and Caicedo, who by the way missed a sitter of an opportunity, which was unfortunately going to be called offside in any case, Colombia were unable to bring themselves back on level terms with Morocco, who eventually ran out 1-0 winners, and shockingly enough, they would qualify for the knockout stages of the Women's World Cup alongside Colombia themselves. Now, the reason why this result is shocking is less so because it's Morocco, because Morocco are a very good team, but more so because Germany were unable to dispatch South Korea here. Because when you look at the teams on paper, Germany were by far the stronger opponent here, and they really had one job, in that they just had to beat South Korea. But like I said earlier, South Korea channeled their inner Panama, but unlike Panama, they were able to get away with something here. And unfortunately, that means again for the Germans, they are out of the Women's World Cup, and a lot of questions must be asked of the team here. I think a little bit of leeway must also be given to the way of the Germans here, considering that going to the World Cup, they did lose a lot of their players during the domestic season to injury, and even after the season was over, a lot of players still pulled out because of injuries. So that could have been another big major issue with the German side here. But I think if they had everyone that they needed on board for the Women's World Cup, they would definitely have swept past the competition here in the group stages. But for Morocco, a massive congratulations to them for doing so well and for still holding on despite all the odds to get themselves a knockout berth here, especially as a debuting nation. Morocco have always been one of the teams to watch here at the Women's World Cup, especially on the debuting side, especially when you consider their run in the Women's AFCON last year, and to see them go up against all the odds and somehow qualify for the knockout stages is a very good showing of what the team has to offer, and it pretty much shows you the power of Morocco in the African context when it comes to football, and potentially on a global level, because hopefully the team can actually show what they're made of and maybe even pull off another upset just like they did here and actually make it to the quarterfinals of the Women's World Cup here. So massive congratulations to them, as well as Colombia, who are worthy winners of the group, and they are well equipped in my opinion to make it out of the knockout stages, at least at the round of 16, because they have a very good team that is a well-oiled machine. And it's just a shame that when it comes to this match where they lost against Morocco, and it's just a situation that unfortunately Colombia conceded first and Morocco were just looking to defend the lead for the rest of the second half, and not really necessarily a situation whereby they were outplayed by Morocco. So hopefully when it comes to the opposition for Colombia in the round of 16, they have the capacity to actually get forward and get themselves back to the free scoring team that we know them to be, at least on the basis of the matches that we've seen so far for them against South Korea and Germany. And that will do it for today's video. Yes, very quick today because there were only 2 matches on show at the Women's World Cup today. The knockout stages of the Women's World Cup will officially begin on Saturday, and there's some very mouth-watering encounters that will be there on show. But tomorrow it's going to be a free day, so we can all take some time to just really digest all of the group stage action that we've witnessed so far. And I am definitely hoping to get a video out tomorrow that just highlights some of the action we saw in the group stages. Some players who deserve some credit, and then some players and teams that deserve a little bit of criticism, so that going forward maybe they can work on those little issues that they've had. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.